Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. I keep coming back to you because ever so often when I'm listening and doing research on the social groups and trying to find out where the people are of this nation, I'm constantly running across disagreements and animosity and sometimes outright hatred between the presentations from liberals about conservatives or conservatives about liberal. Now, at one time, I guess I was in a group of people who considered themselves liberals. It appears that liberals seem to be a little bit more concerned about the masses than others. I hear people talking about big government, especially when you talk about Ayn Rand and Atlas Shrugs, a lady who lived in Russia, who experienced what they call socialism and could say nothing positive about it because when she lived in Russia, at first she benefited from it, and then when laws started changing to try to be more inclusive to people, she had to give up something, and so she went around and started raising hell about what she lost, and traveled to this country saying, "Well, I see the same thing happening over here." And those people over here who were benefiting just like she was over there got over here and started thinking, well, she was a gift from God, trying to save their money. And so you got this conversation from the conservatives saying, if it happened over in Russia, if you try to help the poor and do things for people who need it, then we're going to be just like Russia. You know how we talked about Russia and how we talked against socialism. And I'm going to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, what gives you the right to look at a woman who was experiencing wealth, who when government came in, misdirected as it apparently is, caused her pain and suffering, for you to start using that as a ways and means to judge your activities, which will create the same things that she's basically talking about, not resolve anything. See, you people are, and you people, I say that because that's who it is. You're not looking for answers. You're just trying to satisfy your own ego. When I when I heard this black guy speak, they had picked him up out of Africa, and he was speaking against uh, foreign aid that you might give to suffering nations and saying that that doesn't help them. Well, I listened to him, and for many of people, especially those who are conservatives, might say and agree that it doesn't help them. But in his presentation, he didn't bring out a solution. He didn't bring up any solution whatsoever. If somebody else owned all the land, owned everything, then claimed everything as theirs, everything that's not nailed down, and that's nailed down. So how are the poor people who haven't gotten a chance to claim anything gonna do anything? They don't answer that. And it just blows my mind. But I asked, when he asked the question, how many people or nations have you known, any of you, that became rich through charity? Well, naturally, folks are going to say none, because you don't hear of nations getting rich because of charity. You think of nations who are getting charity as people who are hurting for one reason or another. And so this man will suggest if you want to be wealthy, don't be looking for charity. But he didn't say how you get wealthy. He didn't even ask the question. How many people, how many nations and businesses do you know that are rich and wealthy? By lying, by cheating, by breaking all the rules, by stealing, by killing. I bet you if he had asked that question, you know what? Every rich person, every rich nation, every rich anybody has their wealth connected one way or another to lying, cheating, stealing, and killing. They didn't answer that question. They just want to lie, cheat, steal, kill, and get everything they want. And when they've robbed you out of everything that you got, and you are trying to say, well, government, can you help us out? Well, yeah, government can help you out. Don't let nobody tell you government can't help you out. Government can't help you out if it's doing the same thing that you, the people, are doing. If you lying, cheating, stealing, and your representative lying, cheating, stealing, then government cannot help you out. It might do a little few pacifist things, trying to keep you quiet and keep the other folks who might be kind of generous conservative thinking they're doing something. No, no. But they're not doing anything. But a government that works for the people, if you can find a people who can envision people being benefited from government, if you can find people like that, then you find government like that. But when you got people, only thing they're thinking about is lying, cheating, stealing to see what they can get, then that's what kind of government you're going to have. And it will not be looking out for the interests of the people. So getting these African guys or people from other countries to come over and say what a failure this nation is going to be because they went through the same thing is no answer. It's no solution. And yes, they did get Atlas Shrugg's Ayn Rand put into universities so they can start studying this, so they can teach people who are supposed to be better and superior to other people that this is the kind of philosophy you should have. Training them in these institutions so they can come out with a divided, even more divided nation. And this is what's being sold. Well, that might mean something to some of you. But all I want to end up with you saying is this. You will always find somebody to say that white is black and black is white. You will always find someone to say that dead is alive and alive is dead. You will always find someone to say going is coming and coming is going. But the truth of it is not in what they say. It's what in reality is. And what is doesn't come out of their mouths. It come out of yours. And if you say it's okay with you, and your okayness hasn't caused any pain or any suffering to anybody else, then you are on the right path. But if you are there looking at you and yours and not giving a darn about who it hurts just to get yours, you're on a path to hell. And somebody ought to get you off by waking you up or resisting you. And I'm not talking about waiting till Jesus comes to get you, to straighten you up. Jesus should be living in every individual that says they're born again. But if you have to judge you by that, just say, Jesus is dead. Bye-bye.